Sorry, I forgot I was supposed to drink only hot coffee. 7 o'clock short. Check your description for the archived link. Please do like, share, subscribe, rumble, all that other shilly crap that I really hate doing. Don't forget I have Subscribestar and PayPal. You know, I'll remember all this stuff one of these days, but for right now, let's just get into this. So this is a story from the Epoch Times. The headline reads, "Canadians' trust in government and science waned since COVID," says a federal report. I fucking wonder why! The COVID-19 pandemic has caused Canadians to have a, quote, increased distrust of government and science, according to a report by the Public Health Agency of Canada. Yeah, go fucking figure. The report, based on questionnaires with 2,088 Canadians and 16 focus groups nationwide, noted that less than one quarter, 22%, of those surveyed said they were more likely to trust federal agencies, since the pandemic. Quote, in discussion around how their trust in information sources had been affected by their pandemic experience, few indicated their trust in any source had increased, and many indicated having lost trust. Gee, how could that have possibly fucking happened? Said the PHAC report, Public Health Agency of Canada. I'll call it FAC from now on. The report was titled, The Impact of the Pandemic Experience on Future Vaccine-Related Intentions and Behavior. Future. Yeah. Head up. Reviewed by Blacklock's reporter, the study said the, quote, increased distrust toward government spanned across federal, provincial, and municipal levels. Yes, because all of you sons of bitches decided to exercise the control we've given you outside the bounds that we gave it to you in. So get fucked. Quote, some non-healthcare professionals felt less trust in one level of government or another, wrote the researchers. This much was echoed by healthcare professionals who indicated their patients' trust in at least one level of government had waned. Healthcare professionals explained information from the government was fast evolving, not always clear, and, at times, contradictory. Yeah, and quite often, mockable. Seriously, when Theresa Tam looked up and said, oh, if you're having sex with someone you haven't had sex with before, wear a mask so you don't get COVID? The rest of us went, are you fucking loony? How about a fucking condom? How about you don't have sex with people you don't fucking know well? Hey, how's that one? Yeah. Fucking men's room, bathroom stalls full of empty fucking discarded masks and used... Never mind. I like this. Asked what remedy might be needed to restore their trust in governments, the respondents suggested, quote, being honest and admit your mistakes. Yeah! Quote, continued, people want factual, balanced, unbiased, and politically neutral information that includes source attribution. It's not all we want. We want government to back the fuck off. The study indicated that about a fifth of Canadians, 17%, said they were less likely to trust the Canadian government than prior to the pandemic. Yeah. Seems fair. The findings followed a 2022 research study by the Privy Council Office, PCO, not to be confused with POS, which found that less than half of Canadians, 42%, had a high degree of trust in federal institutions. Canadians were more likely to trust their family, friends, and social media, according to the study titled, of course, Misinformation and Disinformation. The PCO research had sought to study the question of, quote, who believes and spreads misinformation in the first place and why. So in other words, they're still looking to assign blame to other people rather than going, we fucked up. Remember that in future. On average, the research found, redundancies, that on average, the respondents who trust institutions are those who, quote, are significantly older, more educated, and have higher income. Okay, it's not the money, it's not the age, it's the fucking education. You'll notice, though, that the age and the education kind of go together. Yeah, because those of us who were educated before the fucking woke era are smart enough to go, or at least educated enough, we'll leave smart aside, but we're educated enough to go, that seems a little bit of baloney to me. I'm going to do some research of my own. Oh, look, now the government calls me a misinformation spreader. Cunts. Also, however, there were 35% who were defined as, quote, high social media trusting, meaning they had more faith in social media, family, and friends. Okay, you really need to separate those three things. Your family, or at least two of them. Your family and friends should be in one group, and your social media contacts should be in another. Yeah, there's intermix, but if you get all your news from fucking TikTok, you're fucked. That's just true. If you get your information from Sultans of Shadilay, my channel, Louder with Crowder, Lotus Eaters, I mean, at least we have a sense of duty to produce content that's at the very least truthful and as factual as we possibly can. And we hold each other to account sometimes. Well, in terms of the Sultans, we tend to call each other out if we make a fuck up. That's what friends are for. Oh, you'll find a link for the Sultans of Shadilay podcast in the description as well. And the Rumble channel. Let's see here. The PCO report said that solely relying on... Now, this is two different reports they're talking about. One is Public Health Agency of Canada, FAC. The other is the Privy Council Office. Yes, Privy Council Office, PCO. Excuse me. PCO report said that solely relying on, quote, traditional top-down approaches to regulate content is no longer sufficient to limit the, quote, immediate dangers of misinformation. So, the Privy Council Office, which is the Prime Minister's inner circle, thinks that we have too much control of our own information. Starting to feel like you live in a fucking tyrannical state yet? Pretty sure George Orwell is screaming at us from the afterlife at this point. Pay fucking attention! Quote, innovative policy-making tools such as behavioral science can help provide immediate and long-term solutions to misinformation. That's the end of the article. So, what have we learned, kids? We have learned that rather than act like dutiful, honor-bound adults, government would rather take their toys and go home if you won't play with them the way they want you to. Worse, they'll punish you for it. Yeah. So, what's the solution? The solution is simple. If you want to get involved in politics, and you have actual conservative attitudes, the idea that service is important, the idea that you have a duty to provide good service, good care of the citizen, by all means, get involved. A couple of people having a minor freak out outside from the sound of it. Yeah, children. Anyway, get involved with local politics, get involved with provincial, get involved with national. The more of us who get involved, the less of these people who can control the rest of us. Simple as that. Anyway, that's been 7 o'clock shorts. I hope you guys are having a good night. Look for me on Discordant Dragons tonight with Yiz the Eunuch and friends. That'll be on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and Entropy too, I believe. In any, I don't know about Odyssey, to be honest. I know Entropy because she still uses the Entropy widgets. So yeah, you can find me there tonight, which will be, well, this comes out at 7 o'clock my time, and generally Discordant Dragons starts about a half an hour after that. So in about 20 minutes from now. Have a good night.